Good afternoon, traders. Thank you for being here. It is the Godly Trading Hour, half hour. Let's dive into it. The thumbnail talked about a trading robot, and that is what we're going to talk about today. You may have seen it was a robot version of Frank, and this is the strategy that we have been highlighting all week long. So I wanted to show you how I used the fully automated version of Frank, and then the sort of remote control version of Frank. So, by the way, Mr. Producer, make sure Instagram is up and running. Both of those have their purpose. When do you want to have a robot that makes decisions for itself? And when do you want to have a robot that's essentially just a faster version of you? We're going to talk about that today. So, given that in mind, let's highlight this verse again. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. You have to say, what is your purpose in wanting a trading robot? For instance, I have one that I use to trade the forest strategy. The forest strategy is a trend trading that gets on a pullback. And it does a great job overnight during the Asian session right before London opens. I'm not awake, so I have it operate for me. Today, I was day trading with Frank down on the 5-minute chart, and we'll just show you what I did this morning. Go ahead and share my screen so you can see that. Let's see. Do I have what did I do this morning? I did NDX, S&P 500, US yen, and UK 100. So let's just go over here to the US yen. Take a look at that. We'll zoom in. This is the 5-minute chart, and you can. So here we go. You can. That's this morning. So you can see we got in here. And that's because we had a signal. And I was down here on the 5-minute chart. We had one, by the way, here on NDX. You can see here was our trade from here to here. S&P 500. We got from here to here. UK. I got out here because I was done for the day essentially, and I forget what the other one was. So here's what happened. This 5-minute chart. I was down on the 5-minute candle to test out. Steve says today the market average the leverages that are at the September 25 levels. Mainstream investors have experienced 5 months of zero market. That's true. Use the oldest. That's a lot of information there, Steve. I appreciate you giving it though. So one of the problems being down on the 5-minute chart is speed. I found that when Frank would show me a signal, I would go to set it up, and look here's my entry. All right, let me pull the thing out. Let me do this and this and this and this. And by the time I had finished setting it up, it had moved away from me. So okay, clearly I need something to help me with that. So I real quickly, we have a part of our coursework is showing you how to build, and our membership program, to be honest, is showing you how to build these automated systems for yourself. So I went and quickly had one put together where it was just a button, right? This button right here. It said, hey, enter. So every time we got a signal, it would go ahead and set the trade up. All I had to do was make the decision to click the button. Okay. That is a version of the strategy, automated, but it's basically remote control. I'm the human. I still say, oh, yeah, good, enter. Well, again, the 5-minute chart, sometimes even looking at it, price would have moved too fast. So I said, okay, there are times when you're just moving way too fast. I'm here. I'm in control. Let me have this thing just work on its own. So went and put together really quickly another version of Frank, the robot, that took the trades automatically. I'm still sitting here monitoring in Command Central, watching all of these charts, seeing when these are popping up, looking at the supply and demand zones, and turning them on and off. But the robot took 4 trades just like that. And I hit my profit for the day. I need to show you my profit for the day, by the way, my profit for the month. So this is today using the Frank robot. I was at 1.26. I generally don't go more than 1 to 1.5% a day. I'll stop there. Hit 2.5% for the week and 4.2% for the month. This is just trading Frank so far. By the way, if you are a prop firm aficionado, if you use prop firms like I do, this particular strategy is on the DarwinX prop firm. Yeah, sure. They're not a real prop firm, but let's call them that. And so I'm done. I hit my 75 level, right? So in order to get your $30,000 euro allocation, you got to get this number above 75. It's above 75. I'm at 3.25% for the month, and I'm done. It's March the 12th, and this account is finished. I have achieved the goal I set out for myself, which was to get $30,000 in this account. I got it, and then come April the 1st, boom, I'll have money in there to start trading with to get paid for. This is a brand new account. Although same thing happened on slightly different situation happened over, and I know I'm a little over the map. This is my 3-year strategy here. I hit about 2% for the month today. And anytime I hit 2%, I'm done for the month. Why? Because that is what the owner of the company says they want. They want people who can make 2% a month. So I hit my 2% goal, closed out all my trades. Could have made more? Sure. There's a biblical principle here at play. Go read the parable of the talents, and it will tell you how to know when enough's enough. And so 2% is enough, and I'm done. So what am I going to do for the rest of the month? I'll find another avenue to trade these two strategies on, Frank and Forrest. So just to show you again what we were looking at this morning, we have these signals here. And I like to trade pre-market if possible. So I go and I look to see, hey, where is the market? Market open would be, it's 8 hours behind, so it'd be 1630. Where is 1630? So right about here was market open. And so I had these that happened after the market open. You can see how fast the market was moving as a result. Boom, just big swings. This is NDX. Of course, it's moving that big because it's NDX. And then it kind of slowed down. But every one of these was a successful trade all the way through. So the strategy works. The plan works. We're talking tomorrow in our trading class, open to the public, free for anybody who wants to come tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Central. We're talking tomorrow about this idea of your trade plan is more than just entries and exits. Yes, Frank, as a strategy, has rules in place. Get in here, get out there. Your trade plan says, when I hit my target for the day, quit. When I hit my target for the month, quit. When I'm done trading for the day, shut it down and move on. And so that's what I did there. I followed my plan. All of those things. I hit my target for the day and for the month, and I shut it down and I moved on. And I went back to working on other things. That's the key to success in trading, is having a plan that you can believe in because you've tested it, and that answers all your questions during the course of it. I've gotten off topic. I apologize. Answers all those questions during the course of the day. Backing up to using a trading algorithm. When should you have a system that's automated? And when should you trade manually? And maybe when should you have a hybrid version of it? Personally, the hybrid version is just a faster setup for the human. In other words, hey, I've got my signal. I look at the chart. It's ready to go. Having the computer itself say, hey, here's the lines already preset for you. All you got to do is click go is no different than having a computer or typewriter as opposed to a pen and paper, right? That's just speeding the process up. There's no problem with that. The only issue that comes up when it comes to automated trading, algorithmic trading, is this idea of intent, purpose. What is my purpose for having a trading robot? Is it just speed up my process? Fine. Because at the end of the day, your robot is just a tool. It's a hammer. It's a screwdriver. Just a faster way for you to do the job you're already doing because you're in charge. If, however, or not just a faster way, but a more helpful way. Let's say that you have a strategy that wants to get into your trades at 2 a.m. Well, you can either wake up at 2 a.m. or you can have the thing do it for you. The bad reputation that trading robots get. The backlash that comes on them is for this reason. People buy them or build them, borrow them, and don't understand why they're doing what they're doing, trust them too much without understanding why they're doing what they're doing, and ask of the robot things that they can't do themselves. I don't mean waking up at 2 a.m. I mean thinking, hey, I don't have good risk management. I don't have good discipline. So I'm just going to have a robot do it for me. Can you do that? Yes, for a brief period of time. But eventually, your desire to overtrade, your desire to blow your risk management, to revenge trade, to cut your winners short and let your losers run, your desire to do all of the things that we all have done as struggling traders will override your robot at one point. Case in point, way back when I was trading with MT4 as a day trader, I ran into the same exact situation. I was terrible at discipline. I was supposed to be closing all of my trades before the end of the day. Don't turn a day trade into a swing trade. They always preached, the gurus. Good advice. Have a purpose, right? Have a plan in mind. Don't take more than X percent loss for a day. Stop when you're up whatever percent. And so I took the time to learn how to code MT4 and built a trading robot and poured into it all of my failures, all of my inadequacies as a disciplined trader. I built a robot to supplement that, to be risk management for me, to be disciplined for me, to do all the things I couldn't do. And it worked fantastic for 4 days. And on day 5, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, and I am 2 minutes away from my robot closing all of my trades for me. And I reached up and turned the robot off. And there went 3 months of hard work of learning to code and coding and pouring into it. There is no substitute. There's no shortcut for developing your own discipline. And the issue comes from not knowing the purpose of your robot. Your robot is not there to do anything other than be your hammer when pounding a nail in with your hand would hurt. To be your Excel spreadsheet when typing things out on a calculator would take too much time. So, and by the way, once you learn how to build these things, you can knock them out pretty quickly, which is what I did this morning. I literally built the Frank trading robot this morning in about 20 minutes. Tested it out on a 5-minute chart, worked like a charm. Well, it did what I wanted it to do. And there's still some work to be done on it. It's not perfect. It has, I'm gonna let it loose into the wild in our membership program so other people can help beta test it. It's probably got some kinks in it to be worked out. But at the end of the day, they're great, but they're just a hammer. It's just a tool. It's just something to help you speed up the process. So with that said, I'll keep you up to date on how the Frank trading robot, I've got 2 versions, right? I've got the automated one that as soon as the signal happens, it takes the trade off because I told it, hey, here are the parameters, do your job, take the trade automatically. And I've got the remote control version that says, hey, your job is to set the trade up and give me a giant flashing red button that says click here if I want to enter the trade. So both of those are legitimate versions of the same thing. Let's go through, speaking of Frank, let's go through our trades for today. I did mention that these the two Darwin X accounts that I have are now done for the month. This one is fully funded, or will be. I'll get my $30,000 allocation come April the 1st. I'll start trading it again and go off and trade with that much money behind it. This one is just done for the month because I hit my target 2%, and I'm done. In, out, done. Risk management. This trades that are just going nowhere on my CTI. This is Frank daily chart trading, just to show you demonstrate the strategy again. So this one is here, right? We came down. We got about 3/4 of the way to where we needed to go. This is my daily chart swing trading. We were just talking about my day trading. Don't get those two confused. Day trading, the 5-minute chart, versus swing trading, the daily chart. This one's not moving much, and euro yen is actually pulled back a little bit. By the way, I have 2 trade management rules, and I think it's just 2 that I applied to Frank. The best systems in the world, by the way, are very simple. A few components to what you got on the screen. In this case, it's 2. Moving average. Well, okay, fine. It's 3. It's 2 moving averages. One of them is just down here. You can't tell if it's moving average at all. And an engulfing pattern. That's it. That's just basically 2.5 components. And then just a few simple rules for what to do. In this case, if after I enter the trade, the very next candle goes against me, I'm out. And we mentioned before, the point of Frank is momentum. And if I get into this candle here and the trade triggers and the next candle is red, well, there's no momentum. The reason that Frank exists has gone away. The reason that you're supposed to be in that trade has gone away. So I get out. The same thing holds true later on. If I'm in a trade and it's moving, and I get 2 counter momentum candles, I'm out. So for instance, this one candle here doesn't exit my trade. So we moved up and we pulled back. I will give the buyers one last chance to reverse this downward momentum and try to push it back up again. If we get a green candle tomorrow, I'm still in this trade. We get a red candle tomorrow, I'm out. That's just, like I said, have just a couple of simple trade management rules. And these are the things, by the way, that go into your trade plan. Every day when you sit down during your trading time, one of the first things you should do is do an analysis of your overall risk management. There's a biblical verse here from Ecclesiastes, I believe. It says, be careful, to be thorough, be watchful, to know the state of your flock. So every day, the first thing I do is say, hey, how much risk do I have open? Where am I risk management wise? Do I have room in my account? One of my rules is I don't have any more than like 6 to 10%. I guess I could say 10 at risk at any one given time. So if I pull my charts up and I'm currently in 10% risk, right? I've got, let's say I'm in 10 trades and all of them are at 1% risk and none of them have hit their first take profit yet. Then I've got 10% risk on. I can't do anything else. There's no point in looking for more trades. So step one is always, where am I? Where's my account? I'm sitting down. Let me refresh my memory. Where am I in the grand scheme of things? Then, okay, let me manage these open trades. So come to the trades where I have money at risk. That's good stewardship. That's what I do, by the way, when I'm pressed for time. Like if I'm on a cruise, like I will be next week, I'm still going to be here, by the way, even on the cruise. If I'm not driving, if I'm in a car, if for whatever reason I can't commit my full trading time to what I'm doing, I at least manage my open trades. That's just good stewardship. Hey, I've got money at risk. I need to make sure I'm always watching over that. And then once you've done all of that and you say, okay, well, I have some room to put on a new trade. Now let me go looking for a new trade. So that's kind of the overall process of your trade plan, not just your trading strategy. So, by the way, here is a trade remember I said yesterday, hey guys, 2 days ago, there's a setup on gold on Frank. Well, Frank did what Frank does, which is not get you into a losing trade. So the signal was here. In order to trigger for this trade, price would have had to have gone back up to 50. Where is it at? The high is 52.38 and change. So price would have had to go up there, and it didn't. So he didn't get in that trade at all. So that one is just expired. So real quick, we're going to just scroll through these and see if we see any. I'm just live trading in front. Okay, there we go. Live trading in front. By the way, this would be a signal right here. You think, well, why is that not a signal? Look, we are price opened above. It's red, and we've got an engulfing candle. Why is that not a signal? Because the long-term trend is up. I only want to trade in the direction of a long-term trend. That's why this is here. All right, this is a 45. This is a 200. If this was red, we'd have a signal. It's green, so we don't. Keep it on. All right, same thing. No, that one's green. Just going to scroll through and see if we can find anything that needs attention. Pound Aussie was a good trade from a couple days ago. That was an in out in one day. Swing trades don't usually do that, but sometimes they do. Kind of defies the definition of swing trade, but that's okay. It's just longer term trade than 1 hour, really. And that's it. We're done. So no new trades out there on Frank today. I'm not going to go over. Maybe next week I'll take a look at Forest. I'll show you again. I've got a trading robot that trades Forest for me overnight. Trades just gold. And it just looks for trends in the Asian session and getting in on pullbacks. That's all it does. I call it the night shift. So on my day trading account, the night shift takes over around 7 p.m. and the day shift takes over around 6 a.m. Excuse me. So that's it. A lot happened today on 2 of my accounts, and almost nothing happened on the other account, the City Trader Imperium account. So if anybody has any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. There is still, if you are interested in getting a copy of it, you can put in your email address and this will automatically send you a copy of the Frank strategy. Yes, I know Forest is still out there needing to be disseminated amongst all of you. So is Frank Jr. It is on my list of things to do whilst on the cruise next week, while we're in the middle of the Gulf of whatever. It's just the Gulf. It's not the Gulf of anything. So with that in mind, guys, I think we are come to the end of this. I'm gonna knock off a little early today. We will not be live streaming tomorrow because tomorrow I will be on the road betwixt here and Baton Rouge. But I will be back Monday, coming to you live from the high seas, if in fact the Gulf can be considered the high seas, and showing you how you can mix the freedom that comes with trading. You can do it from anywhere, as long as you've got an internet connection and your eyeball and your finger can work your phone. You can trade from anywhere, but make sure that your discipline allows for a disruption in your routine. The consistency is doing the same thing, the same way, the same time, every time. And if you throw off one of those, you're going to throw off your consistency. So next week, I'll be doing the same thing, the same time, but not the same way, because I won't be at my desk. I won't be at my desktop. I will have a laptop on a balcony in the middle of the Gulf. So that'll be interesting. I'll show you all that next week, assuming the internet behaves. So with that, guys, thank you for being here, and I'll see you all Monday.